Madam C.J. Walker Builds a Business, Chapter 5. Sarah dropped another clothespin into the metal bucket and creased the fold of a crisp white pillowcase. There was a knock at the door. A smartly dressed woman stood on Sarah's porch with a huge suitcase beside her. Smiling brown eyes peered out from behind a pair of round glasses. Sarah noticed that the woman's hair was pinned behind her head, but it looked shiny and healthy. "Hello, I'm Annie Turnbow. May I have a few minutes of your time?" Sarah looked at Annie skeptically, but curiosity got the best of her, so she let the woman inside. Annie had barely gotten through the door when she held up a small bottle and began talking a mile a minute. "So you say it grows hair?" Sarah asked doubtfully, turning the bottle over in her hands. She examined the label, reading the list of ingredients. Many companies claimed to make products that grew black women's hair, but none of them really worked. And Sarah had had enough of being told she would only be beautiful if she looked like a white woman. "It's not a straightener, is it?" she asked. "I like my hair kinky." "Oh, I love kinky hair too," Annie said. "This product won't straighten your hair. It will heal your scalp so your hair grows." "How does it do that?" Sarah asked. "Why don't you come to my workshop?" Annie suggested. "I'll give you tips on how to make your hair healthier. In the meantime, let me wash your hair with my special shampoo. You'll love it." Sarah sat in a chair at her kitchen table while Annie filled a large bowl with water. Annie leaned Sarah's head back and gently rinsed her hair, added shampoo, and then worked it into a lather. It was tingly at first, but Sarah loved how it calmed her itchy scalp. When Annie finished washing, drying, and combing Sarah's hair, it felt soft and fluffy instead of wiry and tangled. "I'll definitely come to your class," Sarah said, handing Annie 50 cents for the rest of the shampoo. Later that week, Sarah sat right in the front row so she wouldn't miss a thing. Clean scalps mean clean bodies. If you look good, people will think you're more accomplished. If you look accomplished, you'll get more business opportunities. More business opportunities lead to more money. And I don't have to tell you what you can do with more money," Annie boasted, making everyone laugh. "The wonderful hair grower will not only grow your hair, it will make you rich, ladies." The whole room hummed with excitement. At the end of Annie's workshop, Sarah was ready to sign her name to become a Turnbow sales agent. As one of Annie's agents, she would earn double what she made now. She could quit washing clothes and still pay all her bills. There would even be a little extra cash left over to send Layla. Sarah was convinced that selling Annie Turnbow's products would change her life. Plus, she wanted all the black women of St. Louis to look and feel good. Nothing, she decided, could be better than that. Chapter 6. In the 2 years since she started using Annie's products and practicing Turnbow beauty techniques, Sarah's scalp had gotten healthier. The flakes of dandruff practically disappeared, and so did the embarrassing bald spots. And wonder of wonders, Sarah's hair kept growing, first into a short, fluffy afro, and then into a longer, poofy one until it hung down to her shoulders. In fact, Sarah's hair was so glorious that she became a walking advertisement for Annie's products. "Before I started using the wonderful hair grower, my hair was only 2 inches long. Just look at me now," Sarah told her clients. "You're going to want this for yourselves. I'll even let you try it for free. That's how much I believe in Annie Turnbow's wonderful hair grower." Sarah became a top saleswoman in St. Louis and was richer than she'd ever been in her life. As time went on, Sarah began to wonder if she could go into business for herself. She had already thought of ways to make a product even better than Annie's, but she knew Annie was not kind to those who tried to go into the hair business in St. Louis. Lately, Annie had been posting hurtful ads about new products and tried to run other hair care sellers out of town. Secretly, Sarah stopped working as a Turnbow agent and started making plans to move to a city outside of Annie's reach. Sarah set her sights on Denver, Colorado, where her brother Owen now lived with his wife and their 4 daughters. She had received letter after letter about how the dry air caused her niece's hair to become brittle, and about the lack of black hair care products in Denver. Sarah was convinced that Colorado was the place to make her start. When she told Charles her decision, he was disappointed. But he understood and admired Sarah's passion to put her business first. They put their relationship on hold, and he promised to join her in Denver as soon as he could. In Denver, Sarah worked as a cook in a boarding house, but her real work began when she got home each night. First, she wrote down a list of ingredients she was sure would work well in her hair: coconut oil, petroleum oil, and beeswax. She loved the smell of violet, so she added that to her list. Then she went to the store. Some of the items were on the shelves. Others she had to order. As soon as she had all her ingredients, Sarah set to work in her kitchen. She reached for the biggest bowl she could find and a handful of long-handled spoons. Then she started mixing and stirring and stirring and mixing, looking like a mad scientist with a large curly afro. Every now and then she rubbed the paste she was making between her fingers and sniffed it, or slathered the cream onto a lock of hair to see how it felt. Coconut oil and beeswax for softness, geranium and violet for smell, she murmured to herself, changing the measurements from 1 tablespoon to 2. Sarah kept adding ingredients and took them away, and then took them away. She scribbled notes and then crossed them out. Sarah continued this process for months, until she had the perfect creaminess and smell. She parted her hair with a wide-toothed comb and massaged the final recipe into her scalp. "Perfect," she exclaimed to the empty kitchen. Though her apron was splattered with oil and paste, her scalp felt refreshed and her hair baby soft. She'd done it. Sarah couldn't wait to share her new recipe with the world. She placed an ad in the local black newspaper and used herself as the before and after picture. She was confident that if she could show how well her product worked, she would have more clients than she knew what to do with. Sure enough, customers from all over Colorado clamored to try her newest hair mixture. They all wanted to have the hair done by the marvelous Sarah Breedlove. Eventually, Charles decided to join Sarah in the West. She put on her best dress, dabbed a little violet on her wrists, and headed over to the train station to meet him. The second he saw Sarah, Charles ran toward her with a big grin on his face. "You're a sight for sore eyes," Sarah teased, tugging at his bow tie. On their walk home, Sarah was nearly bursting with excitement as she told Charles everything she hadn't been able to express in her letters. She described difficult customers she'd met selling her hair products door to door. "One slammed the door right in my face, and now she's my best client." "Moving to Denver was a stroke of genius," Charles said, slowing down on the sidewalk. "You're a brilliant woman, Sarah Breedlove. Will you marry me?" Sarah was overjoyed and nearly shouted the word, "Yes." That is the end of chapter 6.